Hello and welcome back to another Bad Movie Reviews review hosted by your favorite reviewer from Down Under, Ben. Similar to the last few reviews, it is just myself here as Daniel is away, but I am extremely happy to talk about this one and I cannot wait to delve deep into it. And it is a film I've been looking forward to for quite some time, and it is none other than Emerald Fennell's SALTBURN. If you don't know or you're not familiar with previous work, she did direct, Oscar-winning writer. She did direct and write Promising Young Woman. I believe it's called off the top of my head. Yes, it is, yes, which I absolutely adored. I loved that. It was definitely not for, it is very controversial film in terms of people either love it or hate it. And she came back to write and direct this one as well, which I'm going to, if you're haven't seen any review or if you haven't seen any trailer or anything, I will keep the plot very, very bare bones because I applaud this film and I want everyone to see it knowing as least as possible. But it's basically about a student at a university who basically finds himself drawn to another classmate who's obviously extremely charismatic, played by none other than fellow Australian Jacob Elordi, who, if you're not familiar with his work, he plays Nate in Euphoria, and it's coming up. It's not out yet. It obviously plays Elvis in Priscilla, but it is starring Barry Keoghan. Keegan. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Obviously, we've seen him in things like The Eternals, Banshees of Inisherin, Killing of a Sacred Deer, and Rosamund Pike. It's got a stacked cast, which I'll get into, but man, did I absolutely adore everything this film did. I'm going to try and keep it as minimal as possible when chatting about the plot. But to chat on everything film, like behind the camera, Emerald Fennell's direction in this film is genuinely incredible. It is a film that is genuinely artistic to the next degree, like the production design, the locations, the setting of the whole film. The whole film is set in like a 4:3 aspect ratio as well, which for me actually heightened the situation and heightened the whole feeling and the evoking of my emotions, and I absolutely adored that. But like, it is possibly the most gorgeous film I've seen this year. Like, I've seen Spider-Verse, which would be obviously right up there, but man, like, this film is just drop dead like gorgeous at all times. Like, some of the cinematography, some of the shots are painstakingly beautiful. But she did an incredible job with the direction and managing to get the performances out of everyone. The cinematography was done by Linus Sandgren, I think it's pronounced, but one of my favorite cinematographers. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm a big fan. La La Land's one of my favorite films of all time. I absolutely adored Babylon and First Man, who are also Damien Chazelle films, and he also did No Time to Die, and he's one of my favorite working cinematographers, and damn, he ate up here. Like, to be honest, like, it is genuinely beautiful, and I will go watch this film again just purely for the cinematography. But man, the film itself, though, like, it is just completely unhinged, like unapologetically, like, horny, as weird as that can sound. It's just full crazy, and it's like, it's an incredibly twisted exploration into like jealousy, class conflict, like obsession with wealth and power and what that can do to someone. Like, the whole film's darkly comedic. Some scenes are hard to watch. Like, it is quite messed up in like the best way possible. Like, it's just, I don't know where to like try and obviously like touch on it without going into spoilers, but man, like, I just loved this script and loved it. And you can tell it's like definitely it's definitely inspired by like Talented Mr. Ripley or like Cruel Intent, like those films that are very on the edge of like those deep, dark explorations that are also kind of a bit weird and fucked up in the best way possible. But man, this film, to be honest, wouldn't work without its like batshit performances, though. In my honest opinion, the cast here absolutely is incredible. I'll touch on Barry Keoghan last. Barry Keoghan. Archie Madekwe, who plays Farley, I got to give props to. Like, I actually I'm probably not really familiar with his work, but I have seen him in Gran Turismo this year. But this character is just a complete far deep departure from that character, and he was seriously good in here. Rosamund Pike, who we obviously know is fantastic, whether you've seen her in Gone Girl. She genuinely steals every scene she's in, to be honest. In this film, and Richard E. Grant, also who plays Sir James, is fantastic as well. And like, but man, if it wasn't for Barry's performance, like this is probably one of my most like favorite performances of the year. And Jacob Elordi as well. Like Jacob Elordi, I've probably only really seen, I haven't seen like The Kissing Booth. I've really only seen him in Euphoria, which I think he's really good in. I haven't quite seen Priscilla yet, but this is probably his first like big role to be fully like obviously in a feature film, and he really ate it up. He was seriously good as Felix, and just to like seriously like he has the charisma, he has the drawing of like a genuine movie star, like a tall, good-looking man who just has that like. Every time he's on the screen, your kind of eyes are drawn to him in that way. And it's like something that there's just not many people in cinema, in film, in acting have. And he is one of them. And I'm proud to call him Australian because, you know, we do have a good range of exports from the country that are killing it in Hollywood at the moment. But, man, Barry's performance is possibly my favorite of the year. And this film will be right up there in my favorite of the year for sure. It is a very dark, twisted movie that, like, over time, you can go into and, like, look into the deep themes and exploration of these, like, subjects that it's definitely going to, or you can just sit there and have a crazy time and let the batshit things that are happening on screen unroll and just enjoy it for what it is. There's definitely different ways to digest the film for sure, but, man, I thought Barry was brilliant. From the first scene right up to the last, I absolutely love him. He's one of my favorite working actors. What's batshit to me is he's nearly the same age as me. I think he might be even a few years older than me. But man, I absolutely adore him. I thought Banshees of Inisherin was was probably my favorite performance of last year, along with Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere All at Once. And man, like, this would be right up there for my favorite of the year. I thought he was incredible, and just the whole film, the way it unravels, the last 10 minutes is something to be seen. The last scene alone, you'll never listen to that song again. I'm not going to go into too much info, but you'll never listen to that song again without linking it to this film, in my opinion. I got in the car, chucked it straight on. But man, I recommend every single person to go see this film. By all means, when I recommend it, I know for a fact I'll probably get some people being like, why the fuck did you recommend me this? This is not good. Or I'll get people on the other side of the spectrum being like, one of my favorite films of the year. It's definitely not for everyone. It will be controversial. Everyone will have different opinions, but that's the beauty of film, and that's why I love it. But if you have seen it, which I believe this is opening night in Australia, I'm not sure when. I know it was limited, I think, in the States, in New York and LA. But if you have seen it, I'd love to hear what you think. If I'm an outlier here, comment below. Let me know what you think. If you do like the review, if you like our content, please like and subscribe. It does do a lot for us. But other than that, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.